Hi, everybody. This is Julissa. Thank you so much for joining me as I try this new thing. I'm trying my first episode on my podcast. I've been wanting to do it for the longest time, but I just want to say this. I am so thankful that you're able to come here and listen to what I have to say. And let me just set the date. Today is February 10th, 2022. Like I said, this is a new beginning for me. If you guys are not familiar with me, I'm a fashion designer. I also am a YouTuber, and let me see what else. I do so many things, it's kind of hard to say. But I just want to say thank you so much that you are here listening to my podcast. Please don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, guys. I'm very new at this. Bear with me as I try new things, try new equipment, all of that. And I just want to say thank you so much. One thing I did forget to say, I'm a Christ believing person. I believe in Jesus. He is the only way. He is my best friend. I don't know what I will do without Jesus, to be honest. But like I said, this is my first episode. I want to say thank you again. You want to know about me? You can go to my website, www.JulissaDesigns.com. My studio where I do my fashion is located in Danbury, Connecticut, and you can learn all about me. That's where I do a lot of my YouTube videos also, and that is in Danbury, Connecticut. But anyways, let's get started, right? Um, so today I'm coming, and this is why I chose this to be the first topic of my podcast because I can just let this go. And I really hope that whoever is listening out there, has something to say about it. So I'm not even sure, guys, if you guys are able to leave comments. But anyways, you can reach out to me. My YouTube channel, I made a video about this and everything. But anyways, let me just get to the point. Today I'm speaking about the death of Cheslie Kryst, the former Miss USA 2019. She jumped to her death about a week, almost 2 weeks ago. Maybe we're gonna say a week and a half ago. It was January 30th. And to be honest, guys, I still can't believe it. And I didn't know much about her. I just thought that everybody's taking the news of her jumping to be so like, oh wow. So everybody was fooled. She looked so happy, and then she jumped because she was feeling depressed. Okay, let's continue on with life. And I have a problem with that because the other day I went out to dinner with my friend and I'm like, why are nobody's really talking about her death? And she agreed with me. She's like, I don't believe she jumped at all. And the thing is that when I was searching about her and what happened to put this information on my YouTube video that I did with her, which got a lot of views. I mean, I made this video in English and Spanish, as you guys know. And one thing I forgot to mention, if you guys never knew about me, I am originally from the Dominican Republic. But anyways, guys, going back to Cheslie Kryst, right? Living in New York City in a luxury condominium, right? Doing extra TV, being a former Miss USA, which is a great accomplishment. I mean, some people, that's all they do in life. That is hard to obtain. It's a great accomplishment. Not only on top of all of that, she is a celebrity on her own. She met a lot of celebrities, did a lot of interviews. She was such a mentor for so many upcoming young ladies that want to be in pageants and want to reach to that level that she was, Miss USA, Miss Universe, and all of that. Besides all of that, she was also a lawyer, a very successful one. I don't understand. I don't understand how you go from having so much accomplishment. I know, looking at her social media, looking at her social media and seeing that she also had a store. She did her own YouTube channel. She did makeup tutorials, even talking about food, talking about, taking care of your skin and the hair episodes. Like, beautiful young lady, how did you get to that point that you're gonna go one day and wake up so disturbed mentally that you are just gonna go? But let me just tell you guys, because I know this is a tricky subject to speak about. I am no expert on it, okay? I am no expert on it. I know it's tricky to speak about because um people say, if you never gone through something like that, you shouldn't be speaking about it. But the fact is, we have to look at what we are seeing from an outside perspective. Sometimes, guys, if it doesn't make sense, it's because it's not making sense for real. We can't just dismiss it, okay? Let's not dismiss it and move on. And I do have a problem. I have a problem the fact that the family came out so fast and said, yes, our daughter jumped. She was suffering from high multifunctional depression. Like, they said that, like, she jumped on a Sunday morning. By Sunday night or Monday morning, like, the family was already speaking. Like, are they even in New York? You know what I mean? Like, are you even in New York yet? Like, why are you confirming this? I am so sorry to throw the ball at the family, but it doesn't make sense, okay? I am so sorry that I'm not trying to accuse or point fingers to nobody, but God forbid, like, let me just say, you know, nobody knows you more than your family, okay? If you have a close knit family and she watching some of her videos on YouTube and TikTok, she mentions her family a lot. She says, I'm always in Atlanta. I'm always over there. Like, she's like, either I go there like 3 times a month. I'm always doing something over there. So I'm always close to home. She lived in New York, but she was very close to her mom. Like, how? Like, your family knows you the most. And the fact that this young lady jumped, okay, according to what they're saying to us, she jumped and Sunday morning, 7:15 or something like that. And by Monday, already we have a statement from the lawyer, from the family saying, we are so sad for the loss of our daughter. Our daughter was suffering from depression. I'm so sorry. That doesn't make sense to me, okay? If I have, God forbid, okay, if I have my daughter or somebody close to me that I know for sure, I know who they are. And even if I saw that they perhaps were suffering from a little depression, okay? Or because I say little, not to level the severity of what she was feeling, but the fact that she was so good at hiding it because she looks so happy every time. So maybe, people, if she comes to you, if you look at what she will put on social media and she comes to you and says, oh, you know what, I have, sometimes I'm very sad, this and the other, you will think, oh wow, that's so sad. And then you go to her social media and you see she's all happy and, living in New York, having this luxury apartment, doing things. When she's not on extra TV, she's doing her YouTube channel and looking all happy on like a regular day. Like, you will think maybe she's just having those moments where, you feel lonely and you get depressed and then you're back to normal, like you're happy again. I think everybody has gone through something like that during this whole pandemic. So you can think, okay, you know what? Maybe she has a little depression, whatever. Okay. But if that, like I was saying before, if that would happen to somebody that I know, that confide in me, that she has moments where she's very upset, and I learned, okay, and I learned that she jumped, I'm not going to talk to no press. I don't care how famous this person is. I am rushing to New York City. I'm rushing to the security guard. I want to see surveillance videos. I want to see who was in the building. I want to see the video where they say they saw her by herself on the 29th floor. I want the videos. I want to know who entered the building that early. I want to know who was with her, who came with her the night before Saturday night. Okay, I want to know if she left her building 3 days before, because what we see from TikTok is on the 27th, 3 days before she jumped, this young lady was beautiful, dressed up, making videos about hair. Okay, and making videos about fashion. I don't know exactly what she was talking about, but to me, she didn't look sad. So I have a problem with the family releasing a statement so soon. And I can't believe that nobody's talking about it. Okay, I don't understand how, like, you're not even in the same state. That's your daughter. I don't care if you're being pressured by the press. I am rushing to that building, man. I am on the next flyover, and I want to go there and be with my daughter, because one thing is to lose a child, but to lose a child to suicide, it is insane, okay? Because I'm sure, like I said, I don't want to point fingers, but you people, when you know somebody, I thank God I never went to that experience, but when you know somebody, even if it's like a far friend that you don't really talk much, you lose a little touch with them, but then you learn that they committed suicide, you feel somewhat guilty. I'm like, man, I could have just called. When I thought about them, just call them and be like, hey, how you doing? Don't look at their social media and think, oh, she's doing great, she posted a reel and she looks happy to me. I don't know. Like, you have to reach out to people more than looking at their social media, okay? Because everybody's trying to look perfect on social media. That is the reality of it. But going back to Chelsea and what I've seen people commenting on Twitter, TikTok, and some of her videos, and even on YouTube, some of her videos, like, people are like, oh, she really faked it because she looks so happy and then she's jumping off the building. And you know what? If it doesn't make sense, guys, a lot of the times it's because it doesn't make sense. When it's not like one person standing, in the middle of nowhere saying, this doesn't really make sense. It's a lot of people having the same thought. How do you go 3 days before, right? Like, there has to be, this is the thing. When I'm using myself as an example, when I'm not feeling 100%, the last thing I want to do is post stuff online. And if you're concerned with me, like, if you really know who I am and you don't see me posting for 2 days, you're reaching out. That's how people are. Even like followers that don't really know me, they will start liking a lot of my posts. I'm like, what is going on? It's almost like trying to get my attention. So we should have seen some type of pattern with her. Okay, you don't go from 3 days posting, updating all your social medias, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. You're updating everything you can. And then Sunday morning, you're like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to jump today. It doesn't happen like that. Okay, there has to be some type of progressive signs that we should have seen, some type of gap. Okay, she didn't post anything in January on Instagram. Something's going on with her. You don't go from interviewing Denzel Washington to 3 days later and being so happy with him and talking to him and being inspired by him to just be like, oh, you know what, I'm just going to jump today. It doesn't happen like that. And the problem that I have is that there's nobody like, hey, can we just, I need to know who was in this building. Saturday night is a tough night. Wherever you are, that's where people have the most free time. Saturday night, okay? She jumped on Sunday morning. So we need to, like, the family spoke too soon. I'm so sorry. It's a big family. She has a lot of siblings. They spoke too soon. They're not even in the same state, as far as I know. Like, you need to rush over there, okay? I want the security guard to pull every video he has, every visitor's date that he has. I want to work with the police. I want to know. I'm not accepting the fact that she jumped. It doesn't make sense. And a lot of the times it doesn't make sense for a reason. Okay, and just like everybody was talking about Bob Saget, and he probably got drunk and died, and he all drugged up, and sometimes things are not what we think they are, and we need to be aware of that. Things sometimes are not what they are, so we need to dig deeper. Okay, it doesn't make sense to me that one other point that I'm going to make, I'm not trying to create assumption, but I look at patterns and behaviors. Okay, so she in December, I think it was December, she did Miss Universe. I think it was for in a different country, and when she passed, the singer that did the nightgown edition, in that Miss Universe, they always have a singer come out when the models, all the contestants come out in their nightwear. The singer was JoJo, and you know, she, I mean, as far as I know, JoJo is a great singer, and I know her from like when I was back, in college. She did the song, it's just a little too late. A lot of hit songs that she got, like a teenage, type of young person. Out of nowhere, we see her come out again. Okay, and I'm saying that because I'm only looking. I'm not a fan of her, so I'm looking at what they're putting. I mean, what they're putting out there for us to know. So she was very popular 2002, 2000, I mean 2003, 2004, 5, whatever. Okay? And then we didn't hear nothing back from her. And then we see her at Miss Universe pageant singing that news. She has a new album, whatever. Okay? So one interesting thing, this is why I brought her up, is the fact that JoJo, the singer, said, okay, if you have, let me just tell you guys, you have to look at patterns and behavior of people. Okay, so she said when Chelsea died, when we learned about her passing, she said, she was a beautiful angel, this and the other, you know, and she's like, we spent 4 hours together recently driving through the desert. Nobody knows what people are going through. Excuse me. So she said that, and I was like, okay, that's a little weird. You because here, let me just tell you something. When you have the time on your social media, okay, to share what you're eating, to make it real with a different sound, to kind of like stitch somebody on TikTok making fun of their sound, whatever. Those funny videos that people do on TikTok, you have the time to make those stuff. But you're gonna spend 4 hours driving to the desert sharing so much information with a former Miss USA. You don't even post one photo of the two of you together. Not even one story photo. Because let me just tell you, I did my research. And the crazy thing about that encounter too is that I searched JoJo's Instagram and I noticed that she doesn't follow Chelsea at all. Okay? So I don't understand how you guys don't. I mean, 4 hours. I mean, 4 hours together, and she feels so bad for her. I'm not saying she doesn't feel bad, but she's like, I just feel so bad. We share so much. She's such a beautiful angel. We spent 4 hours driving in the desert, and we share so much, and you don't even follow her back? Because Chelsea does follow her. I checked that before I came here and talked to you guys about. I don't know. I think I find that a little strange to me. Okay, a lot of people. Let me just leave it there, guys, because we all know how this works. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you guys can understand what I'm referring to. But let's go back to our main subject before I make this podcast too long. It doesn't make sense to me that somebody with so much going for, okay, she is has so much going for her, okay. This is, I in the beginning I thought, maybe people were too harsh on her because haters are everywhere. But you, I can understand that if you're like doing Miss Universe right now. But that was 2019. Like she's past that. So how do you go from looking all happy and everything perfect, and I'm doing what I like to do. That's what she said many times. She loved doing that extra, being the being the extra correspondent and all of that. And how is your family? It's gonna speak so soon. Like, doing a full investigation. I need to know who was the last person she spoke with. Okay, I need to know what the conversation, how long it was, what was it about. I need answers. It's not making sense, guys, because it doesn't make sense. We should dig deeper. We need to know the reason why Chelsea got to that point. Okay, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for listening. I am reaching my limit on my first episode. I promise it's not going to be that long all the time. But like I say, follow me. You can also find me on YouTube, JulissaDesigns. Don't be surprised. I am a fashion designer, so you're going to see a lot of fashion. That's my intro and all of that stuff. But let's connect. Let me know what you guys think. This is not making sense because it's not making sense, because there's something more. Have a good night, everybody. God bless. Thank you for listening. Thanks for coming back to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. God bless.